Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports and Gaming. Hope that you're all well on this Friday evening as we do this video. So let's talk about it. Manny Pacquiao versus Gennady Golovkin. I can't believe I'm even taking the time to even discuss this. But according to Freddie Roach, he says here, one thing about Manny, he doesn't just want to beat just anybody. He wants to fight the top guys. Like Mike Garcia called him out a couple of times. I think that's a good fight for him. Of course, Robert Garcia, Mikey's brother and trainer, called him out on one of your shows. It made me smile because I like the fight for Manny. It's a great fight. But the thing is, Manny might want to go a little higher, bit higher, and fight GGG or one of those guys who's supposed to be the best guy in the world, because Pacquiao still desires to be the best out there. Says, Roach did clarify that he doesn't think Manny should fight at 160 pounds. No, I wouldn't advise him to go to 160 pounds. Not when you're getting old, he said, before leaving a bit of a flirtation with the idea in the air. But putting him in at 147 was a risk at one time. Everybody told me, why are you moving him to 147? He can make 140 easy. He can actually make 135 if he digs down. But to fight the biggest fights at 147 where the money is, it made good sense for us all to fight the great Oscar De La Hoya. It was a great deal and it worked out really good for us. So there is Freddie Roach talking about the idea of Manny Pacquiao fighting Gennady Golovkin. Good evening, Hamza. I hope you're well. Strap season. Yes, Tank Nation. Okay. First and foremost, if Freddie Roach was on my show, I'd have taken a microphone out of his mouth and slapped him straight in his mouth. How can you talk about this fight? Guys like Errol Spence, Terence Crawford, you've got Sean Porter. There's 3 fights already there. And to be honest, I know a lot of people would like to think that Gennady Golovkin is a household name, but he's not. Gennady Golovkin is not a household, not in my opinion. He's not a global superstar. He's not a household name. First of all, Pacquiao is going to be the A-side in that fight if that fight ever happened. B, Pacquiao's far more well-known than Gennady Golovkin and has fought far better opposition if you look at resumes in terms of in their weight division, who they fought and who they've beat. So Gennady Golovkin is, I've always said, he's probably one of the most overrated fighters in the last 20 years. Because when we talk about Gennady Golovkin, just for a second, and this is not being a hater, or it's just the facts. Who has Gennady Golovkin knocked out at elite level? Which elite middleweight has Gennady Golovkin knocked out? He didn't even knock out Kell Brook, who was a blown-up welterweight. Let's be honest. He didn't knock Kell Brook out. He didn't devastate him, right? So all this talk about Gennady Golovkin, I think there's been very much, he had a very good PR team behind him in Abel Sanchez, who told us many stories about what Golovkin would do. He'd beat up on heavyweights. What we've seen Chris Eubank Jr. do the same thing. But it's what quality of heavyweights he's been sparring with is really the bigger question. As Golovkin has fought against better opposition, he has looked quite almost one-paced, plodding forward, getting caught with punches, very flat-footed. And in his last fight with Canelo, it showed me right there that a lot of the Golovkin fans for the first fight said that Canelo was running. So now Canelo holds his feet for the second fight and pushes the much bigger Gennady Golovkin back, which tells me a lot. It tells me why he probably didn't move up to super middleweight. Because if someone like Canelo can push you back you imagine if he had fought Carl Froch just for a second? A big, strong, fit super middleweight. I wouldn't like to have seen it. But anyway, back to the point about Pacquiao and Gennady Golovkin. Golovkin, if I were him, I would not even, I would come up publicly immediately the next day and say, listen, this fight is not happening. There is no possibility of me fighting Pacquiao. The guy started his career at what? Flyweight? Wait, let me get it right. I want to get it right, so I'm not talking crap here. Let me find out where Pacquiao actually started his career from. I'm sure it's flyweight or some bantamweight, something like some weight like that he fought at. And I want strawweight, but he wasn't too far off it. You look back and look at them early days of Manny Pacquiao fighting. I just want to see where he first started his career just to get the facts straight and how much he was weighing. Okay. I want to make sure let me get this right. Get the facts straight here. How much Pacquiao was weighing. Dang. There's a guy here that Pacquiao fought in his John Medina had 30 fights and 30 losses. Oh boy. Look at this guy. 22 fights, 13 losses. Dang. Right, let's go now. How much was Pacquiao weighing in them days? He won't even say how much he was weighing. What weight was he? Okay. So here, so I was right. He was at flyweight. Pacquiao started his career at flyweight. Then moved up to superfly. Is it superfly? The flyweight title. Super bantam. Moved up from super bantam up to super feather. Then from super feather up to welterweight, and that's where he's been for the rest. And then he had that fight with Margarita Light Middle and a few others. But for the most part, look, Gennady Golovkin. If you remember Golovkin back in the day, where Abel Sanchez was saying, "Oh yeah, we'd fight Floyd Mayweather. We'd come down and fight Floyd Mayweather." Don't lie. I said that would never happen, and I guess I've been proven right in that. Now, as far as I'm concerned, GGG is the perfect opponent for Gennady Golovkin at welterweight, because you look at Pacquiao's style, in and out. It's perfect for somebody like Golovkin, because Golovkin just moves forward, and they'll probably fight him like the way he fought Hatton. Bip, 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 punches and slip to the sides. Bip, 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 punches, slip to the side. The way to beat Golovkin is you throw your punches and slip to the sides. But a lot of people, they fight Golovkin, throw punches, and then they stay there. So Golovkin takes a shot and rebounds back and catches you. That's why Brook was having such success early on, because picking Golovkin off with nice shots. But then he stayed in the pocket too long. He stayed there too long, and then got nailed with something nasty. So that's how Golovkin has. And that's why Canelo was good with Golovkin. That's why he did it. He throw shots, rolled, slipped, moved, lots of upper body movement. But someone like Pacquiao, right, against Golovkin in the welterweight division, if you put Golovkin's skill set against someone like Pacquiao, you're looking for murder there. You're looking for murder. And Mikey Garcia is another one. Mikey Garcia can't beat Manny Pacquiao. Mikey Garcia can't beat Pacquiao now. He couldn't, and he certainly couldn't beat Pacquiao then. Flat foot, straight lines, walk straight forward, open to right hands. Guys like that are not going to beat Manny Pacquiao. Not a great counterpuncher. Guys like Marquez. You see guys like Marquez who are experts at counterpunching, making you miss, making you pay. Marquez, guys like that. Mayweather. These are guys that are scientists in the kitchen. These are guys that are able to make you miss and make you pay and knock you out while doing it. You know? So those guys, and Manny Pacquiao, if you can time Pacquiao as Marquez did, if you can time Pacquiao like Mayweather did, those are guys that are always going to give Manny Pacquiao huge problems. Timothy Bradley, we know that was a political thing and why he lost that fight with Bradley, and we know the fight against Horn was another political thing. Pacquiao being in Australia, Pacquiao supposedly then coming to the end of his career, and Jeff Horn being the golden boy and making some money with Jeff Horn in Australia. Obviously, Aaron saw the big stadiums and thought, right, we can make some money here with Jeff Horn. Why not? Give him the decision against Pacquiao. So that's how it all works. So I sincerely hope that that's just a rumor. But let me tell you something about rumors in boxing. Rumors in boxing are put out there. This is how it works. This is how the game generally works from what I have noticed. Personal opinion. Again, personal. They test the water. They throw it out there. They throw a seed out there. What about the idea of Derek Chisora fighting Dillian White for a second time? Throw it out there to hear what fans are thinking. That's their market research. That's their lazy way of market research. Just throw it out there, the idea. And if it gets a lot of backlash, they might. But if it gets a bit of a pull, they push forward with it. So that's a way of finding out the temperature for a fight. But there are fights, as far as I'm concerned, that are better than fighting Gennady Golovkin. I'm sorry. What exactly, really, has Golovkin done? I mean, really, what has he done? Yes, I know he's become a world champion and he won all the. I get that, but in terms of historically, this guy cannot be considered a great. I'm sorry, he cannot be considered a great, and I don't think he should have that fight. Now, the thing with the Oscar De La Hoya fight was very interesting. If you go back to the Oscar De La Hoya fight, Oscar De La Hoya was I believe he had fought Hopkins, and he was campaigning around 154, and between 154 and 160, obviously, he had the Hopkins fight and got beat. Why did Oscar De La Hoya, after so many years campaigning outside of the welterweight division, decide to come back down and fight Pacquiao at what? Was it just? I think he weighed in at 140, something 143, 145 pounds. He didn't hit the welterweight limit, and he was making a big statement. Oh yeah, I've lost all this weight to come and fight Manny Pacquiao. So it was a stipulation for Oscar not to get to a certain amount of weight, and obviously that drained an older Oscar De La Hoya. So Oscar De La Hoya, the night when he fought Pacquiao, had no energy, no strength whatsoever. So it was a shell of Oscar De La Hoya that night. It wasn't because Oscar De La Hoya was old. It was because Oscar De La Hoya was weight drained. And Manny Pacquiao and the Manny Pacquiao team, or Team Pacquiao, have a habit of draining people. Look at Miguel Cotto, weight drained. Margarita was probably weight drained as well. Most of the guys that Pacquiao fought were weight drained. You do what you got to do to listen. You still got to beat the guy. So that's their fault for coming into fight Manny Pacquiao weight drained. If Golovkin is stupid enough or desperate enough to move down in weight to fight Pacquiao, because I can't see Pacquiao fight at 160. Absolutely no way would Pacquiao fight at 160. Pacquiao will more likely fight him. If anything, Pacquiao would go to 154. But Pacquiao will need his speed and his movement to not get trapped in ropes by Golovkin, keeping the set of ring, pivoting Golovkin all the time, not allowing Golovkin to set and throw punches. Pacquiao can do it. He can do it. And at 154 pounds, it's a very winnable fight for Pacquiao. 154 pounds. That means that Golovkin's have to drain himself down to fight 150. That's the only way I'd take the fight. 154 pounds, drain his ass down to 154, which is what Pacquiao's team are good at doing. They've got a PhD in weight in making people drain the weight to fight them. PhD in it. So yeah, so if Freddie Roach is talking about Pacquiao and Golovkin, Golovkin knows he's going to have to lose that weight to come down because there's no Pacquiao going up to 160. Forget that. Stop looking at that. Stop it. Not happening. No way. So it have to be, Golovkin would cripple him. Well, really? Would he cripple him? Really? Really? I thought about it first. I thought, oh my God, Golovkin would kill Pacquiao. Which Golovkin are we talking about? Are we talking about the Golovkin that fought Danny Jacobs? Are we talking about the Golovkin that fought Deverenchenko? Are we talking about the Golovkin that fought Canelo? Or we talk about the Golovkin that fought Brook? Because if you give me any of those Golovkins, if you give me any of those Oscars, if you give me any of those, hello, Oscar is the A side that time, and Oscar's team is the one who set the weight class. Also, Pacquiao's 135 moved to 147. You just don't make any sense. What do you mean I don't make any sense? Oscar came down volunteering himself and moved down in weight. Go check the weights at the time. I'm not talking sense. Oscar moved down in weight at the time. He moved down in weight. He wasn't at 154. He came back down to welterweight to fight Pacquiao. It was not a light middleweight fight. What are you talking about? So anyway, weight decisions for a reason. Weight decisions for a reason. Pacquiao was blown up even at 140. Yeah. Well, you tell that. You go telling that to Ricky Hatton. You tell that to Ricky Hatton that he was blown up the night that Pacquiao had Hatton laid out flat in a couple of rounds. You tell Ricky Hatton that, and a host of other fighters as well. Guys like Sugar Shane Mosley and Miguel Cotto. Tell them that he was blown up. So anyway, let's go back to this point. I'm going to go back to this point about Golovkin. And people get defensive about Gennady Golovkin. But when you go back to Golovkin, people say he's going to cripple him. At first, I thought, yeah, he would cripple him. But then when you look at Golovkin, who has he knocked out or rendered unconscious at the elite level? Again, are we talking about the Golovkin that fought Jacobs? Are we talking about the Golovkin that fought Canelo? Are we talking about the Golovkin that fought Deverenchenko? Are we talking about the Golovkin that fought Kell Brook? There are 4 fights there. One of those guys wasn't even a legit middleweight. 4 fights there. And you're going to tell me that Golovkin's a killer? Are you going to tell me Golovkin's a killer? A killer puncher? Those are the facts. Now, if you want to talk about killer puncher, you talk about a guy like Julian Jackson. That's a killer puncher. You talk about killer puncher, you talk about guys like Wilder. That's a killer puncher. A guy that hits you, and you're out. And drops you, regardless if you're, lower tier or being unified heavyweight champion of the world. Golovkin hits harder than Pacquiao, who nearly killed Pacquiao. Golovkin's not got the skill set of Marquez, so don't use that. Marquez's skill set is far superior to Golovkin, and if Golovkin had Marquez's skill set, he'd have beaten Canelo. He would have beaten Canelo because he has the ability to counterpunch. So don't bring that in. Don't bring that in. Why do people, when they talk about people talk about Golovkin, they get so excited about Golovkin? He's damn slow. He's slow and flat-footed. Slow and flat-footed. And if a guy from light middleweight, which was Canelo, moved up and beat Golovkin and put him on the back foot, I mean, Golovkin's not that great. Give me one fight. Give me one fight. Give me one fight that you can tell me that's a sensational. Give me one fight that makes Gennady Golovkin a Hall of Fame fighter. Give me one fight. One fight that he has won, that he's rendered somebody unconscious and he's looked great in. One fight. Name me one. He has the KO punch, but Pacquiao would see that punch coming. When you fought at lighter weight divisions, that's why Pacquiao's got advantage of these guys, because he fight at those lighter weight divisions, flyweight. So he's able to see the punches coming a lot faster. But when you look at someone like Marquez now, who is, again, a smaller fighter, who has campaigned at low weights as well, he's able to see punches coming as well. That's why guys that move from middleweight and go up to heavyweight and fight, they see the punches coming because they're so used to seeing punches come faster. These punches are coming slower. They're heavier, but they're able to see your punches coming. So because somebody moves up in weight, yes, they might be a little slower, but remember, they can see the punches coming. So Kell Brook versus Golovkin, you're looking at different skill sets. Again, Brook has not got the skill set of a Manny Pacquiao. All right, so it's not like Brook versus Golovkin. Brook is physically bigger than Pacquiao, but he's technically not better than Pacquiao. Brook will never be considered a Hall of Fame great. Pacquiao will do. Pacquiao still kicking ass. Now, we just did the Thurman just the other day, which I said would happen. Look at Usyk, probably the worst career decision signing with Hearn. Well, everyone rates. Well, I don't want to talk about that. But yeah, so my point is this: people get defensive when you talk about Golovkin, but when you ask him the facts, who has Golovkin beat for him to get all this praise? Who? And then the people to beat are those people going to be Hall of Fame fighters? Talk to me. So what you're saying is weight division in this case won't matter. I'm saying to you, if you listen to me carefully, and if you listen carefully to what I'm saying to you, I'm telling you that if they drain Golovkin and they bring him down to 154, they get Golovkin fight at 154, and Pacquiao fights at his normal weight or just comes up a touch, there's a problem for Golovkin. That means you're weight drained. Not good. At age, Pacquiao, GGG is now fighting at light middleweight. Nah, Golovkin can't beat. Golovkin cannot beat. Golovkin struggles at middleweight. He struggles at middleweight, but he didn't want to move up to super middleweight because he wanted to retain the ability and the strength and all he had at middleweight. Right? Golovkin struggles at middleweight. Okay, tell me how Golovkin versus Pacquiao at 160 pounds. No, it's not going to happen. I swear people don't listen to what I'm saying. I just swear. Honestly. I said Freddie Roach's team, look, Pacquiao's team have a habit of draining people from moving their weight division and bringing them down in weight. They did it with Oscar De La Hoya. They did it with Miguel Cotto, and GGG is no different. The Jacobs fight was a draw, and the Deverenchenko fight was controversial. Yeah, well, I thought Jacobs beat Golovkin by about a point or two. I gave it to Jacobs. And as for Deverenchenko fight, I thought Deverenchenko beat him. So the Golovkin story is a myth. So was Alvarez arguably a win or loss? It doesn't make a difference. Canelo Alvarez is not the discussion. The discussion we're having here is Pacquiao versus Golovkin. And in this case, when I'm talking about Canelo, and remember, a lot of you all there said, oh, if Canelo moves up, Golovkin's going to knock Canelo out. Really? I didn't see that happen. I didn't see Canelo even come close to getting knocked out. So, and I don't think that Canelo's as skilled as Pacquiao. No. So GGG, in my opinion, is very much overrated. You may not want to hear that, but if you can answer me those questions, who has Golovkin knocked out at elite level? 1, and 2, how many fighters that Golovkin has fought are going to go on to the Hall of Fame that he has beaten? Not drawn against. That's it. That's it. So when you strip it back, I swear this man's not listening to me. When you strip it back, a fight at 154 with Manny Pacquiao and Golovkin is doable at 154. And hell yeah, take the fight. Slow hands, slow feet. He'll be even slower come the fight. He is not a defensive wizard. He's just going to come forward in straight lines. So Pacquiao just picks him off. And he ran something like 7 or 8 round stops Golovkin. Why? Because he's being weight drained. You take all that juice off your body. Your durability is not the same. You're slower. You're inactive. That would be a trap for Golovkin. Because I don't think he bodes well at 154. And that's the only way that fight would happen. Okay, 155. But since then, neither of them have fought that low. How would that happen? Ibi Golovkin, yeah, exactly. What are you talking about? Pacquiao fought the 154 against Margarito. What are you talking about? There is less damage in Pacquiao moving up to 154 than there is Golovkin moving down in weight. As an older fighter, it's okay to put the weight on. But as an older fighter, it's detrimental to lose weight. Yeah? But as an older fighter, you can put on weight. That's fine. It's not a problem. So Pacquiao fighting at 154 wouldn't be a problem. And who says he has to come in at 154? He come in at 150. Come in at 150. I mean, those 4 pounds, it's the speed that Pacquiao's going to need. So their weight limit can be 154. Pacquiao could come in at 150. And he could do damage, I think. Simple strategy. Stay off the ropes, hold center of the ring, in and out, and do not back straight up against the ropes. When you hit Golovkin, 1-2, and out to the side door. Out to the side door. Do not move back in straight lines. Pivot. Pivot. And Golovkin's constantly moving all the time. That's how you do it. Plus a rehydration close, GGG could be close. Yeah, there you go. So at 154, this fight is definitely doable. But Pacquiao moving to 160, no. And he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it because that's not the Pacquiao way. Like I've said many a times, fighters leave patterns of how they operate and how their management operate. Pacquiao's not going to move up to 160 suddenly. No, he's not going to do that. What he'll do is have a rehydration clause. All right? So they'll drain Golovkin, rehydration clause, and fight. And what they'll do, they'll put in something like, you know what? We're going to give you, they'll keep checking his weight, monitoring Golovkin's weight, and put something stupid in his contract. Like, yeah, if you weigh in at this point, we're going to take $1 million off your paycheck. Something stupid like that. Maybe that's to be a bit unrealistic, but we'll take a significant amount of money from you if you do not hit the weight that you're meant to weight before the fight. So it's impossible for Golovkin to suddenly blow up. So it'll just be excess water on the body. That's what it'll work on a night. That's how it works. That's how that would work. So that's the only way a Golovkin versus Pacquiao would work. And Freddie Roach ain't stupid. He knows it would be catastrophic. And a good example of a guy that was fighting at a heavier weight division and coming back down to fight is Chris Bird. Chris Bird did it. Chris Bird fought for the heavyweight champion of the world. He was heavyweight champion of the world at one point. He fought guys like Vitaly Klitschko and Vladimir Klitschko, Evander Holyfield, David Tua. He fought Tua. He fought the president, Ike Ibeabuchi. So those guys is fighting. Then he lost weight. I think he came down and fought at light heavyweight and got absolutely starched. Another guy, Eddie Chambers, moved up to heavyweight, then moved back down to cruiserweight, and he just couldn't fight the same way. How Errol Spence versus Pacquiao, dangerous fight for Errol Spence for a number of reasons. First of all, Errol Spence, flat-footed. Flat-footed. Yes, Spence does work the body very well, but he is flat-footed. And I think Pacquiao's too dynamic for someone like Spence. He's too dynamic. Pacquiao's too dynamic. I think Pacquiao could beat Spence. I really do. I've always said Pacquiao could beat Spence. Spence's got size, but he hasn't got, I don't think, and you think of what Kell Brook was doing with Spence, I just don't think, I think Pacquiao hits hard enough to hurt Spence, and he moves so well and so sharp. I think he beats Spence. I think it's a unanimous point decision or a majority decision. That's what I think. I don't know about now so much because I don't know what Pacquiao looks like now. I don't know if this time, this COVID-19 has helped Pacquiao or has hurt Pacquiao. Because he's old as it is. We know Pacquiao's old. And so many wars this man's been in, you just don't know how much left. So we don't know if COVID came and was a blessing to Pacquiao and allowed Pacquiao's body to rest, or it wasn't a blessing for Pacquiao and he's even got him further older down the line. I don't know. But based on Pacquiao's skill set or what Pacquiao's done in the past, I don't think anything Errol Spence does that is, yeah, it is a boxer's nightmare. I don't ask yourself this question. Is there anything that Errol Spence does that Pacquiao hasn't seen before? Errol Spence is not a better boxer than Floyd Mayweather. Fact. So what does Errol Spence do so good that Miguel Cotto didn't do, or Ricky Hatton didn't do, or Marquez didn't do? What is it that Spence? What is it? What is it about Spence? And then we've got to ask ourselves as a question about Errol Spence and the injury. Obviously, the car crash. What's his durability like now? What's he like when he really gets hit again? Is he the same fight he was post car crash? I don't know. I just don't know. So there's those other elements to add in. So from Pacquiao's side, age, inactivity. From Spence's side, inactivity, the car crash, the injury from that. There's so many things we need to discuss about that. It's an exciting fight, but the fight I've always wanted to see is Errol Spence, Pacquiao versus Crawford. I think Crawford has a better chance of beating Pacquiao, but with Crawford, my problem with Crawford is this. I still think that Pacquiao will catch Crawford with something nasty when they fight, if they fight. I think he'd catch him with something nasty, and I'm not sure whether Crawford can take Pacquiao's type of power. At some point, he's going to get hit with something nasty, Crawford, by Pacquiao. I'm not so sure how he responds to that, because Pacquiao's going to hit him more accurately than any other fighter's hit him in his career. Thurman can take it. Thurman got dropped. Because you look at two totally different fighters. Why? Okay. Let me ask you a question. Why is it that Evander Holyfield can take punches and Frank Bruno can't take punches? Why is it that Canelo can take punches and Amir Khan can't take punches? What kind of a question is what? If Thurman can take it, why not Crawford? Well, first of all, Crawford isn't a natural welterweight, is he? Crawford fought from a lighter division. Dropped and finished strong since Thurman is so fragile to the body. Oh dear, another one. Oh dear. All right. Anyway, that's it. Pacquiao versus Gennady Golovkin. The fight can happen only, in my opinion, at 154 pounds. If we're going to make a fight doable, 154 is the weight division it needs to be at. Yeah, so that's what I think. But hey, leave your comments in the comment section. We're out of here. Take care.